Oh yeah, let's get into all of this bullshit. Hey everyone, Trevor at Top Loaded Gaming. Wanted to make a video discussing YouTube's new policy and a couple of people that I spoke to on the specific topic. Now, to me it should be no surprise that the retro gaming community, people that consider themselves, not all, I'm not gonna, generalize everyone in there, but the vast majority that I see, that I speak to, they all support this policy, these new terms that YouTube is adopting. And one thing I don't get is, all right, I'm discussing these ideas, right? I don't see an issue discussing these things. Someone may take offense or whatever, but I'm not sure why. Why? What is there to take offense to? Like, I disagree with your ideas. That doesn't mean like that I'm saying you're a piece of shit or you're a racist or, any other implication other than I may point out something I think you're being hypocritical or inconsistent about, but that's about it. And other than that, I'm disagreeing with your ideas. So how someone can manage to take offense to that, I don't get. Okay, but someone did, and we're gonna have to talk about it. Eric over at 8-Bit Eric, right? I put this comment, calling out what I see as a hypocritical view, right? So Smash JT makes this video about the whole censorship thing, and Reggie comes out and says he basically agrees with the policy. So I leave a comment, right? And I basically say, like, oh yeah, it's good for some of these. They'll make videos like this, but it's okay for them. But somehow it's not okay for other people, And case in point, I brought up 8-Bit Eric's Dr. Disrespect video. Now, he made a video covering that. Now, the people that watch his videos, certainly it would be just as believable that someone would watch Eric's video and then go to Dr. Disrespect and tweet at him a bunch of shit, like, I can't believe you went into a bathroom, all this bullshit. Like, if it goes for one, it goes for the other. That's the point I'm trying to make here. If you're holding these views, then, lead by example. Glass houses and all that, right? But I don't hold these views. I'm pointing out inconsistencies I see in these ideas. I don't hold these views myself. I don't care, barring like starting inciting a riot, barring anything illegal. I don't think there should be any sort of control over what we say on this platform, because YouTube has a monopoly right now over people being able to discuss their ideas, say what they want to say. To me, this is a soapbox to stand on, and that's how I view it. That's how it was when YouTube started, and I understand that businesses can change and whatever, but considering the fact that they're a monopoly, I think the terms of service should reflect freedom of speech. Period. That's my view of this whole thing, right? So 8-Bit Eric leaves this comment, and I'm going to read this comment. Eric says, I talked about Dr. Disrespect. I didn't call him a rapist or encourage people to Google his nudes or say he buys subs or call him a racist or say he is running a museum scam or talk about how he sleeps on a mattress in his bedroom or encourage a campaign to shut down his Patreon just because I didn't like him. There is nothing against free speech or criticism. I am behind this because harassment is not criticism. He has harassment all capitalized. You can tone down the dramatics a little bit. You and Smash both know what this policy is for and what it's not for. If you feel like you're in danger, maybe you should take a look in the mirror. Anyways, if you're going to talk about me, do it in a DM. You know how to reach me. Now, there's several problems I have with his comment, but just the notion that, like, he's taking offense to me mentioning him in a comment. Like, how much more, like, could you be in support of, like, tone policing and all of this stuff? It's like he took offense to me even mentioning him. Like, dude, how sensitive are you gonna be? For real. Like, oh, don't speak about me, DM me or whatever. Like, no, because I don't have an issue with you. I have an issue with your ideas, and I have no hang-ups on discussing those ideas. I don't know why you do, but that's you. I'm not gonna alter myself for you. I don't know what is unclear about that. Just because you have this issue doesn't mean I have to have this issue. I have no hang-ups. Like, if you want to make a video discussing my ideas, like, go for it. Somebody else wants to do it, go for it. I'll probably engage it, but I don't get this mentality. But then another thing with the guy's comment is, all right, being called a rapist, which if you're doing that, and I've called, I don't really want to call attention to that part because I don't want to validate any of that bullshit because it's not really based on anything in reality, okay? But, and I've taken up for Eric on this specific topic about that accusation shit several times, in comment form publicly, now in video form as well, okay? That leads, that's more on the side of, like, illegal defamation, type shit. But then lauded in with that is, like, saying he buys subs. Like, I'm sorry, but if someone puts in video form that this person or that person buys subs, or like Smash said about Destiny FOMO, like, oh, well, her subs are bought and paid for or whatever because she bought ads. Like, back in the day when I first got partnered on my previous channel, I bought ads on my channel simply because, like, that was something I thought everybody did and I wanted to try it out. It was like $30 for, I want to say, an ad twice a day for a month. It was only like $30, using Google AdSense, your Google AdSense account, and I did it. I didn't really see any sort of fucking return from it, so I stopped doing it. But I don't think it's really fair to say, like, she bought her subs. Like, anyone can advertise. Anything that comes out, you're gonna have a certain budget for advertisement, and YouTubers should be no different. So I kind of disagree with Smash on that, but it's whatever. But it's just lauding together, like, if you can't handle someone saying you buy subs, then I don't see you being able to handle being online, period. I mean, the last couple of videos I did, I got a bunch of shit for it. Like, I don't give a fuck. I was, like, favoriting and pinning, some of these comments, because, like, I don't care. I didn't delete them. Half the time I engage the people that like, leave comments. Like, I don't care. It just slides off. Everybody gets it. No one's above it. But trying to say those two things are equal. I'm just saying one is, like, against the law. One you could probably take somebody to court over. I mean, look at the whole Kick Vic situation. So that's what I'm kind of referencing with this whole thing between Darius and 8-Bit Eric is look at Kick Vic. He's suing his accusers. You know, whether he wins or loses, whatever. But certainly this could, you know, end up in court. But to act like these other things are the same and should be moderated also, to me, you're going into like censorship land. And YouTube has proven time and time again that they will completely fuck up and fumble trying to control all this shit. How soon before this thing gets completely abused, if people can just report it as such? And then another aspect, which a couple people were like, oh, I don't believe that's going to happen, but how long until, and I realize there's a certain element of like slippery slope fallacy in this, but I don't think it's that far of a stretch going here. But with video game reviews, how long before Nintendo and Ubisoft and all these developers, game companies start claiming that it's abuse and targeted harassment, when whatever story comes out that everybody talks about, like Fallout 76, when that game came out and the shit show that it was and the dumpster fire that it was, how long is it going to be before YouTube decides that they're going to censor those? Because you're bullying these devs that work so hard on these games, especially if the game is through a political lens. You know, if it has some sort of feminist movement attached to it, then yeah, I could easily say like, oh, this is bullying and targeted harassment and it's misogynist and whatever. Even though it's not about that, it won't matter. It'll be censored just the same. Just like when they announced Diablo and everybody thought it was a new Diablo coming to PC and it was just releasing on mobile, like all the countless videos that were made about that, I see that, you know, Angry Joe. Why? And right here I'm speaking admittedly from a point of ignorance, because I don't know why he was let go, but could it just be that they smelled the wind, they felt the way the wind was blowing, you know, and like Joe's whole shtick of being negative about video games, being passionately negative when he doesn't like a video game, like, oh, well, those videos are obsolete on YouTube, so we don't have no use for this guy anymore. Now, that could have nothing to do with why he's, you know, being gone, but I also am bringing up the point that I feel like even that type of channel is going to become, is going to be at risk on this new YouTube, period. And if you think that I'm basing this off of nothing, look at what happened with Rotten Tomatoes over Captain Marvel and the whole Star Wars thing. Just simply look at how Rotten Tomatoes changed its website. It used to be that you can go and leave a sort of like check mark or no, like, are you interested in going to see this movie? You know, and then they would show the percentage of interested and not interested. They took that off. So that part of expression on that website is totally censored, totally ripped out of the website. Now, anything that's considered a review bomb, it doesn't matter if your review was genuine or not, they were censoring negative reviews, period, across the board, right? So I really don't think it's that much of a stretch to say that, yeah, gaming reviews, you know, and gaming topics, gaming discussion, any sort of negativity, any sort of discussion that they have an issue with or whatever could, yeah, that could be at risk, for sure, in my opinion. It's just a matter of time. This is the direction that we are headed on YouTube. You know, I had a discussion with Super Nintendo. don't really have an issue with the guy. I think a lot of the buzzwords he uses are, very like like intersectional and third wave feminist leaning, very quote unquote SJW, so I kind of am not surprised by some of the things that he's saying, but he's another one that's for this whole censorship thing. He was trying to say that YouTubers are responsible for these random ass people watching commentary videos and then going to people's social feeds or whatever accounts they have, or doxing and all of this stuff, that the YouTuber, should take some sort of blame or onus on that, and that is complete bullshit. So one thing, I told him in my replies to him was that, you can't blame Marilyn Manson or the Matrix, you can't blame Columbine on Marilyn Manson's music or the Matrix movies. And his response was something like, well, Marilyn Manson didn't make music, didn't write lyrics about going shoot up schools. And to me, that's not an apples to apples like comparison, because we're not making videos. None of us are making videos saying to go fucking talk to this person. We're not. We're challenging their ideas. We're ridiculing their actions. We're not making videos like, this is my mantra. We need to start going to this person's Twitter and start actively engaging them and whatever. Now, for every one channel you may find that is like that, and I'm sure they exist, I can show you 10 or 100 that either have a disclaimer, a text disclaimer before every one of their videos saying not to do that, or they say that as they say as much in their videos themselves. Do not contact these people. To me, it's like the same old arguments. Like, oh, well, somehow Kiss is the devil and corrupting the youth, and video games make people violent, and books are the devil and they corrupt you, and the TV is gonna rot your brain and make you do all these things. And it's the same tired fucking arguments. It is. And these people are just hypocritical. They're inconsistent. It makes no sense to me. Your ideas have no merit. They cannot hold up to scrutiny. Period. Now, I feel like I have to say this. Do not go to 8-Bit Eric's channel. Don't go to Super Nintendo's channel. Don't go to Radical Reggie's channel or anybody else's channel based on my video and say anything to these people. I have a problem. I have an issue with them supporting this, right? But I'm not saying that they're awful people or any of that bullshit. Okay? Now, I'm not responsible for what random ass fucking people do on the internet. You're never gonna get me or a court of law, in my opinion. You're never gonna get a court of a law to buy into that notion. I mean, H3H3 won his lawsuit. You know what I'm saying? His video was fair criticism, and now under the YouTube laws, even though a court ruled in his favor, now YouTube would probably side with this other guy, even though he was being completely disingenuous. Now to me it's like H3H3's video, according to YouTube, that would go down. That would go down. If iDubbbz's video went down. This shit makes no sense. And if you support it, to me, you know, I don't really have respect for those views. I just don't. I have zero respect for those views. To me, that's pro-censorship. You are pro-censorship, and quite honestly, if you stay on the internet, and that's like, if you have such a brittle ego that you can't handle things or ignore things that are being said about you or whatever, like, to me, if you keep fixating on that, you're going to drive yourself mad. You can't please everyone, and anyone can take offense to anything. So there's no way to combat that. There's no way without trampling on other people's rights. I do get some of the more vile things that are being said in some of these videos. You know, I do get wanting to be like, oh, well, that's this or that's that should be taken down, whatever. But to me, I look at the internet as the free marketplace of ideas. The best ideas rise to the top, which is why, like, this Radical Rick guy who puts out a lot of unvalidated bullshit will pretty much stay where he's at. He's not gonna blow up to the size of, 2 million subscribers or whatever, because he makes too many mistakes. He makes too many mistakes. He talks out his ass, and if he was honest, he would be making retractions, but he doesn't really do that either. So, whatever, unless he's forced to, I guess I should say. But I just think that these people are better off being shown, right? Because then they can be mocked for what they are. Just like Alex Jones, like, to me, I think he's better off being mocked than being driven into the underground where everything can spread. This whole thing, to me, is insane. And to me, I keep telling myself, like, what happened to the internet? What happened to the internet, to the YouTube, that reacted worldwide to this one video of Tom Cruise talking about Scientology being taken down off of YouTube, and the entire world erupted into protest over it? Where's that YouTube right now? Where's that YouTube right now? I'll tell you, identity politics have completely divided all of the modern world. So we'll never come to an agreement over this, because a lot of these people feel like your freedom of speech ends where their feelings begin. And that's not what freedom of speech is. That's not the concept behind it. And I feel like our freedom of speech is at risk. And the reason I say that is because iDubbbz's video got taken down. And there was nothing wrong with that video. If anything, he's dissecting a bully in general. So it's a critical, analytical view into a bully, but somehow his video gets taken down. So obviously, whatever YouTube says their policy is, however it's worded, it's fine, right? On paper, it's fine. But implementing it, so far they're doing a bang up fucking job. And like anything else that YouTube does, I don't know how anybody could get behind this or act like it's going to be implemented correctly. So I really think people need to realize that everyone gets offended by something. It's you that is taking offense. It's not the person that's giving offense. That might not even be what they intended. But it doesn't matter because you're taking the offense, you know? And then there's all these matters of context, and this is just a shit show. So, you know, that's my thoughts on this whole fucking thing. You know, you disagree, you disagree. I think YouTube, like in the past, before Google bought it, and before the adpocalypse, that this website used to reflect freedom of speech. And I think we need to go back to that. I also think YouTube needs to call these advertisers bluff and say, you don't want to advertise? Stop advertising. If you want to advertise, you know, we'll try and stop it, but your ads might end up on a you know, video that is really fucked up. But if you want to act like you're not going to advertise for Bill Burr, you know, if Efforts for Family was on TV, you're going to act like you wouldn't have commercials playing on Efforts for Family? You don't have commercials playing during South Park? Get the fuck out of here. YouTube needs to call these advertisers bluff. They're going to advertise. Period. You know? Which is something I don't buy into, that whole fucking thing. You had channels reporting that they had advertisers contacting them. They had one specific guy, David Pacman, that reported that his advertiser was calling him because it was audience targeted specifically to his audience. It was ads targeted specifically to his audience. And YouTube was stopping them, not allowing them to put the ad on his channel. Right? So that's it wasn't just as simple as, oh, these advertisers are on strike buying up ads from YouTube. No, they made a conscious decision also to try and cover their ass from something like that happening again in the future. And they started stopping advertisers, even if they wanted to advertise on a certain channel. No, we're not going to let you. Just in case, just in the off chance that something like this blows up again. Like, I don't know. That's going to do it for me. This is Trevor over Top Loaded Gaming. Go fuck yourself.